Hi, everybody. I'm Danny. I am a little under the weather, so I do apologize for my voice on the first day of November with our blossom tangles. I've put together this list of patterns that I'm going to be challenging myself to work on this month in a journal. So this is going to be a journal project for me. And I'm going to do it in a way where it's not traditional Zentangle method. It's CIA. I'm going to be using lots of different supplies. I'm not planning ahead except for maybe what supply for the day I'm using. Most of them will be mixed media, which means that it's going to be two or more different types of materials, different mediums. A medium is material per day. So I'm going to be playing around with what I have. You play around with what you have if you want to follow along with me. I figured this was a good way to keep myself on track, and I just love sharing so much that I hope that I bring joy to somebody else out there, whether it be one of my middle school students, one of my adult students, or someone I've never met yet. So I'm going to switch over and we're going to get started on day one. So this is the journal I've chosen, and I have so many blank sketchbooks and journals and books in general that I grabbed one from my pile, and I'm going to be posting the link below so you can have a reference. You don't need to use this one though. You can use any type of book, any size that you would like. This is a 5.5-inch square. It is watercolor paper. It's cold press and the pages are pretty thick. It has a little band that holds it closed, which I like. Little marker for a bookmark to hold your spot if you choose to use it. And the pages are thick, so you could use both sides or you could use a single side. There's 30 sheets in here, which is perfect. I always have a hard time deciding whether or not I want to draw on both sides or just the right side for me. I'm always changing things up. So to be honest, I haven't really decided yet. So I guess I should do that. The supplies I'm going to work with to start are going to be watercolors. I'm going to be creating a watercolor background. Any kind of watercolors you have will do. You don't need anything fancy. You could get a set of Crayola watercolors and they will work nicely. I have here two sets of colors, and these are from, I got these on Amazon. My book was from Blick. And when you open these up, they come with a little chart that I went in and labeled and painted the colors so I would know what the colors are, because when you look at them, they're a lot darker and some of them look the same. Like I would never think that this color was that. Okay. It is normally only this row and this row. This row here, I like to bring mine out with me. So this row here is actually part of the Woodland series. So I made my own little chart for that middle row. So that coincides with that. And the top and the bottom row here, I have them with double stick tape because they do fall around, but these I have so that they will pop out in case I want to go back to this set. I want to put them back in. These were the colors I did not bring with me while I was walking around. So this actually just brought last month in October on a vacation to Jamaica. So I just wanted to bring one set, and that's why I doubled up. And things that were kind of similar, I left behind. I didn't think I was going to use. I knew I was going to be on a beach and I wanted a beach color. So that was one of my top priorities as far as choosing colors. So I have this out. I'm going to use this, and I'm also going to be using a water brush. You can use a regular paintbrush or a cup of water. Today I'm going to use my water brush, and I have a paper towel that I'm going to use to blot on. So this is going to be for my background. These are the tools that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to start with tinting my background with watercolors. So I'm going to lay down on this page some color. You can do a particular color scheme. You can do lots of colors. There is no wrong way to do this. It is simply what makes you happy. That's what's the most important thing here. So find things to make you enjoy yourself. There's no mistakes. If you do something you don't like, it might get covered up with another step. So don't stress out about it. And I don't have a plan. I didn't pre-work any of these. So I might have days where maybe things don't come out exactly how I want, and that's okay. So you could use the whole entire page. You can make a border on here. Again, it's going to be completely what you want to do. If you are using the entire page and you're concerned about leaking onto another page, you can take a paper towel or something to put under that page. So I just flip to a page, put a spacing in between it. So that way I don't have to worry about the edges because I am going to work right to my edges. So I'm going to start with some, I think I'm going to do pinks. So I can see that I have some pinks on this bottom row. And I'm going to put a drop of water on each of the colors that I want to use. And I think I might use some purple as well. It looks like black on here, but it is purple. And you can, there's all different types of painting techniques. I am working super loose. I have no plan. I'm going to put some water on this paper, just squeeze some water around or wet your brush and dip it in. And then I'm going to touch the paint. And if you want, if you've not used yours before, maybe test it on your paper towel. More water you have, the lighter your colors are going to be. The less water, you're gonna have darker colors. So I'm going to start by putting some of this pink down. And if I do switch colors, I don't want to muddy up my palette. That's what this is, a watercolor palette. So I'm going to want to clean my brush off. I'm gonna take some of the other pink. The other pink really isn't too much of a difference. I mean, it is different, but it's not a huge difference as much as I would have liked, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm not planning. I'm so sorry for my voice also, guys. I don't even recognize myself. I'm going to take some purple, add some purple in. So when you're choosing colors, you want to think of colors that blend. And pink is a tint of red, and red and purple are next to each other on the color wheel. So they blend. And if you're not sure if this is like all new to you and you're like, I have no idea, then test it on a piece of scrap paper and see if they blend. If you don't care about them blending, well, that's fine too. So again, this is for you. Not everything has to follow color theory rules and stuff like that. That's not important. Kind of like a cloudy effect here. I'm liking it. I like the variety that some of it's really light, some of it's a little bit darker. And I'm getting this water gathering in the side over here, a little watery. So I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in a minute. I could just do this all day long. So I'm going to take a little piece of paper towel and just blot here where the excess water is, and then that will dry up. And you can use this as texture too if you want to like add some texture to the background. You could use a paper towel that has little grooves to it as part of your work as well. All right, so that's my first supply that I'm using, watercolors. Love it so far, so fun, really quick and easy. This is not something I'm going to take hours working on a day. I'm going to be working pretty quickly on all of these and nice and big. Okay, I'm going to let this dry. If you don't have a lot of loose water, you could use a hair dryer, or if you have a heat gun, you could use that as well. I don't have a lot of loose water, so I'm going to go blow dry it. So if you're not familiar with Zentangle, they are different patterns that can be deconstructed and broken down step by step. So the first one that we're going to do, and I've posted the document below again, is called Cyme. And this is a headquarters pattern by Zentangle Headquarters. So please feel free to familiarize yourself with them. And typically, when you're drawing Zentangle, you will use Micron Pigment Pen Microns. I will not be using them every day, but for today to start, I am going to. For those of you that do follow Zentangle, I want to ease you into our wonky different types of blossoms that we're going to be creating. Today is going to be a more typical type of a day. So, but I'm not going to use black today. I have pink and purple here. So I've gone ahead and chosen a purple Pigma pen and an 05. So it's a little bit larger of a point. And I'm focusing on Cyme today, and I'm going to focus large. This is going to be a really large, bold type of pattern today. So I'm going to be filling up my entire space. I'm going to be starting in, you can have it centered, you can have it off centered, you can have more than one. But again, for day one, I want to just keep this simple. That's my preference. You might feel different. I'm going to start with a fairly large orb in the middle, maybe about the size of a dime. And I'm going to start to add some petals around. Now, I am going to change some of what's happening on this little sample tile. And you'll see Cyme is done many, many different ways. How many petals you have doesn't matter. All right, so once I have my petals around, I'm going to aura, and to aura is to draw a line that is going all the way around. So typically, if I was drawing by myself, I would be turning my journal as I'm going, but since I'm on camera, I'm just kind of moving my hand and doing my best. It's just paper. If you make a mistake, it is not the end of the world. All right, so where I have these V's here, I'm going to come out and make another petal. And then you could aura in the inside of these if you wanted to. You could do another aura going all the way around. I typically go on the inside, but I don't know. I think I want to do something different for a change. Why not, right? I'm going to come all the way around like this. All right, so I'm going to continue, and you can do as many layers of these going around as you want. You can fill up the entire space. You could stop and have background area. So as I'm drawing, if you need to pause, please feel free to go ahead and pause. So I'm going to add another aura to this, and then probably one more layer of petal. So I wound up changing my approach a little bit and making an aura inside of these petals. And that's where I'm going to stop. I'm going to go to my next supply. So far we have watercolor, we have pigment pens. We're really creating a nice mixed media type of journal page here. Next, I'm using something called neocolors. And these are water soluble. So you can either use these and draw with them so they're kind of crayon-like, or you can take water and you can activate it and spread it around. How cool, right? So I really do use them both ways. Today, I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm doing, but I am going to use them for shading. So I'm going to be looking and seeing where my darker areas are. So I have two purples here. I'm not sure how close they're going to be to one another. I might only use one purple. Kind of as I'm looking, I'm thinking we use this one. Um, this is a lilac, and I have a pink, and this is actually purple, but to me it looks like a magenta. So I'm going to start with the purple in this area because I have a lot of purple watercolor down. And I'm going to add a little bit behind this orb as if it's making a shadow. So this paper is very grainy because it's watercolor. So you're going to see a lot of texture. And if you don't like that, then you're probably going to want to definitely add the water. I'm going to just add the water because I want to play. So I'm going to brush some of that up. I'm not worried about it covering even. And every now and then when I get a lot of the purple on my brush, I'm just wiping the excess off because I don't want to turn the whole entire petal purple. I want to have some of the color behind it still showing. If you want more of a solid look, then you would not want to be wiping it off like I am. So that was a small petal. This one's a little larger. This one, I'm going to add a little bit of purple again. And then I'm going to add the this purple. I should be saying the right names. This is one that I think looks like magenta. I'm going to add a little bit of magenta next to it. And I want to be careful and mindful of my hand, that I'm not putting my hand into my wet areas. Maybe I'll add a little here. And I'm not going for neatness. So for me, this is actually very neat. I feel like I'm trying so hard to loosen up a bit, and in my other journals I'm working on my own, I really am starting to be freer, but I didn't want to go completely rogue on the first day, just in case there's someone out there following along with me. Right now, I teach middle school. My sixth graders are working on a mixed media collage, and they're having they had to tear paper today. They're like, "Can I have a scissor? I want to make it straight." I'm like, "No, you cannot. We're tearing them. We want them to be messy." So they're having like a hard time grasping grasping that. I'm like, "Embrace the mess. Embrace the mess." All right, so I'm going to continue the next two rows, similar to what I just did there. Maybe now that this one is getting larger, maybe for this row, I'll have a little bit of the pink as well. Now the dark color into the light, make sure that you're cleaning your brush, or start with the light color, bring the light color up, then go into the dark, because otherwise you're not going to see that pink. You're going to wind up seeing just all purple. So again, if I had the purple here, or lilac, and then this magenta purple, and then the pink, maybe start with the pink first, start with that light, push down into the medium color, and then into the dark. So I'm going to do this for the next two rows. So at any point you could stop. This could be it. You could be done, and this could be your completed journal page for the day. Maybe you don't have more time to work on it, and that's fine. Maybe you like it how it is and you want to leave it. Maybe you want to experiment a little more, and that's fine too. So let's see if I'm going to wind up using this or not, but I have this little bag of mulberry papers. It's a little scrap pack of types of handmade papers. You can see the fibers in them. Some of them do rip easy, some of them you need to use a scissor for, but there's lots of different colors in here. I think I got these from Blick as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I got these from Blick. And I have pulled out a few little pieces here. And I'm just thinking I might Let's see, let's see what happens. We'll tear a few of these, seal those little great little fibers. Yeah, like that. Maybe a piece in the corner here. And let's see, maybe something over here. And I do have some pieces sticking out, and that's okay. And you could even cover and have part of it see-through. Maybe I'll do that. And I don't need things perfectly symmetrical. I may not even, let's see, I might leave that part alone, but let me see what I can do here. I have something in my head, but I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm just gonna see if I could maybe. I don't like the straight edge of the scissor so much, but oh, that's kind of cool. I could have a piece there to kind of tie it together. I like odd numbers. That's 4 pieces. Um, Maybe I'll do another kind of tear. This is so not precise at all, and that's fine. Um, Maybe I'll do here. Oops. I'll just keep moving around until I find what I want. All right, I kind of like that. And I'm even these little pieces, that's not garbage to me. I'll save that. I'll use it all again. I'll wind up putting it away unless it blows away for some reason. So how am I attaching this? Okay, well, it depends what you're using. You could use glue sticks. You could use, I love this neutral pH adhesive. This is good if you want to preserve something. Or I think what I'm going to use today is matte medium. And you can apply this with a brush, or you could do what I do, and I like to use my finger. So I'm going to, believe it or not, I'm going to put a little drop right in that corner, and I'm going to smooth this down. I'm going to put this on here, another little dot over it, and then smooth it down. It's going to dry clear. Now, let's see. This might be a little tricky with the neocolors. We don't want to smear everything. I'm going to kind of dab it because that's water soluble, right? So we want to be mindful of that. But okay, that's kind of cool. It just leaves like another little texture. I still have a lot on my finger, just dabbing here. You can really go crazy. And you can see that once I put it down, it's the piece of paper, it's pretty subtle that the color kind of really does just disappear into the piece, but I think it gives a little bit more interest. You can see through there. That's cool. I mean, I don't know. I want to add more, I think. This pink's fabulous. I love that pink. Let's see, maybe a little bit more. I don't even know what this shape is, but it's fun. Maybe I'll just put it in the background. You know, if I don't like it, I could put something else over it, right? Is that too out of place for some of you? I might do a little layering. And you can use a paintbrush, and if you use a paintbrush, dedicate that brush to glue, matte medium, Mod Podge. Mod Podge is great. You can use Mod Podge too. Oh, there we go. Look at that 2 layers, how that pink's coming through now. Love that. All right, so again, this does take a little bit to dry. My paper's curling a little bit. I have to be honest, one of the things I love is feeling my book and feeling when we have a complete journal or sketchbook done that used feeling to it. I think it's really cool knowing how much work was put into it. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry. So again, you could be done at this point. This could be done. Do you have more time? Do you want to create more? Are you stressed and you need to let more energy out on your paper? Do it if you need to. And again, you don't need to be using all these supplies. I've not bought anything new. This is all stuff that I have at home. So this is a Posca paint marker, and it is coral pink. I think it's gonna look good with this. We'll see. And I'm going to, let's see. So they have different tips. So this is a pretty broad one. I'm going to add a little bit of this coral pink in the thin aura. And again, I'm not being neat about this. If I have some of the watercolor background showing, that's fine with me. I don't mind. So I don't know. It's not coming out exactly what I envisioned in my head, but I'm going to stick with it. So I have it uniformed, but I'm probably going to add something else over this. So if you don't know me, I love glitter. I love things that sparkle. So I'm kind of thinking in my head, I might take something that's a little glittery and add some glitter to this. And I am going over that micron, so you might want to leave it or go back in with micron after and touch up a bit or a different broader pen. And if I am adding anything over this, I want to make sure that the area that I add to, that it's dry. So it's fine. I don't know. It's just not what I envisioned in my head. So I think I'm going to, I have some sparkly stuff to the side of me. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm just staring and I'm not sure. You know what? Maybe silver. I'm gonna take some silver. I feel like it just got the what the lighter part was a little bit better. So I'm gonna add a little, yeah, I like that better. So I'm gonna add a little sparkle over this. Might be hard to see. If I move the paper, you can see it a little bit more, right? The sparkle. This is a Sparkle Pop by Pentel. You can buy them in a pack of just silver and gold. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them in a colorful set, which is what I did first, is I got ones that were a bunch of colors, but for me, it turned out that I was using the silver and the gold the most. So then when I reordered, I did a pack of silver and gold. So that's how it was the last time I ordered. I don't know if things have changed, but I don't think it was too long ago that I did that. All right, in the center. So I think I'm coming to the end of mine for the day. I'm going to take a white Posca pen and add a few little highlights now. So it looks like I might have had some yellow on there from whatever I was doing last night. So I'm going to add a few little highlights on these petals, just little dabs to brighten the areas up. Again, this is experimenting and I'll see like, oh, this doesn't work with this material. So I may not do it again, or this is really cool and I'm going to make a big painting of it because I really enjoy it. So, it's all about playing, having fun. So, and I did have fun with you today. So I'm not sure. I might write the names of the blossoms at the bottom of the page, but I don't want to quite commit to that yet. So I'm going to wait. And again, like I have little pieces that are kind of sticking up. I don't know if you can see, but I'm okay with that. I like how it looks handmade. I want it to look handmade. So I feel good. I had a great time. I hope you did as well. I can't wait to see what you've created. Please share them. The hashtag is below. Comment as well if you would like, and post on social media. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow. And again, if you don't feel like creating, this shouldn't never feel like pressure. And if you just want to do a 5 minute thing, that's fine. Don't go out and buy a lot of supplies. Use what you have, substitute things. It's totally fine. If you want to use the same supplies, if this is it, you want to use this for the entire book. If you're doing this, do that. That's totally up to you. And I always winds up having a mess on my hands, and just shows that we're all artists, right? And that's exactly what's going on here. Everybody that participates is an artist. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.